the truth of our society. For several decades, we have seen more and more people get rich quickly, but we are all always poor. Where is this problem? Look in your country, any politics, enter the political world with a normal standard of living like almost everyone, but when they leave the political world, they become much richer and more powerful because they also gain the notoriety and many other privileges. In most cases, you do not need to work until retirement, you retire well before all of us, but for them, like many states and countries, they give them pensions for life after 8 years in politics. There are even cases where only after 4 years they are already entitled to their retirement for the rest of their lives. And US? Apart from all this, there is the dark side of the lobbies, with contracts offered without competition and a lot of money for the one who authorized the contract, the public money, the territorial exclusivity, the fortunes they receive to renew thousands of equipment, computers, furniture, automobiles, insurance, roads, highways, metro, airport in exchange for millions and millions of money that should be returned to taxpayers. All of this is happening in the developed countries, because in the least developed countries we all know politics and we conrol and steal as much ground as possible in their country, and we all know that, as well as our developed countries. Because it's about trading in influence, by diverting public funds with people's money. And that's where we see our policies are like them. Because for any state and country he should have strong penalties for all the countries that steal their people. And their policies still have the courage to ask for humanitarian aid, while they themselves are billionaires at the expense of the costs and suffering of their people. How many large global organizations are diverting money? What is the purpose of donations? Who does this money serve? To pay mega wages, or go all these millions of donations? Several scandals have erupted in recent years, but nothing is done. People are guilty. Because those who lead are all friends and that protects each other and lives well above average for all of us. How is it possible that aid organizations pay salaries 5, 10 and 20 times more higher than the average salary for the same function? Not to mention the money that gets lost without people being responsible. The arms industry sees these profits catapulted into all false wars, with dubious motives. Because they do not do it for the good of the people, but for their interests. The multinationals in the armaments industry, there are too many examples since the Vietnam War that proves it, and since all this for kill millions of innocent people and destroy millions of families. And what was the motive of this war? Always misinformation, always manipulated the information for us the general public to accept these acts. But that makes millions of profit dollars for some people. And after all that, they found the solution to destock, renew and make a fortune by defying human life, the quality of health services, education and our old parents for a more dignified retirement. Whose fault is it? To those who benefit or those who allow it? For example, in Switzerland, as in other countries of the world, people have the choice between new laws, the right to vote on a new infrastructure, and so much more. This should happen for most countries in the world. The world we live in is no longer that of the years before the year 80. With the advent of the internet in the 1990s, this whole process of massive corruption has reached its peak by making our escrocs our hero. But who can change all this? You? Me? We? Yes, we can change the world by stopping to vote for idiots, denouncing everything you know, making their lives difficult as they do for us. We would buy more what is manufactured in our country, protect our productions, our small business, as before globalization or China now and the king. In less than 20 years, The number of Chinese billionaires continues to rise in favor of human rights in China, where millions of workers earn only to survive and not live. Several large companies have already come out of China to return to their country to produce their product in their country and help the local economy and increase the purchasing power of their customers and also employ. Because in large companies, the employee and also the buyer, and thus created a beneficial circles for everyone. For others, however, to wage a maximum and pay a minimum even if one has to steal one's country by paying taxes or collecting them is a group of friends of the multinationals, the banker and policy. But finally saying that you are the solution is simple because we are millions who give with our compulsive consumption millions to all these magnates of the industry. There are those who deserve it but not 95% of others. In our next videos we will talk case by case about people or business that we all have who steal us every day. Who do you want us to invest for the next video? A people, a multinational. Courage to all of us, for we are the world, and they without us are nothing.